Hello and welcome to the Work Hates podcast. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it is like a shit boss, a dreadful workplace, or an insufferable colleague. If you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You're the problem. Today we are joined by comedian, improviser, radio and TV personality, and soccer fan Ed Kavalee.
Great to be here. Thank you both. Thank you very much for having me.
I have never seen Brett more nervous about doing a bio in my life.
No, I reckon I nailed that one.
You did well. It was
Thank
good
you.
nervous
All right.
energy. You did really
There was nothing.
well.
That was fantastic.
Would you hire me on a radio show straight after this? Just 'cause
Well,
I
no,
nailed it?
because you would. So if you're doing commercial radio, so you one of the many skills you learn is that you learn to summarize things. So that imagine someone who's never heard of someone that you have to summarize their entire life in under 10 seconds as Ed Sheeran is finishing. So. That is one of the few. That's one of the few things you do. So you learn to describe people as quickly as you possibly can. So if you give me basically any celebrity that people would know,
Okay, go.
or
Dave.
any person from history.
Okay. I went straight to Dave Hughes, even though you work with him. I had the whole world as my oyster, and I went, Dave Hughes.
Okay, you did pretty well.
Barack Obama. Go.
Okay, okay, that's Ed Sheeran with another song that will probably end up in court. And up now, he is the former president of the United States, started out in Chicago politics and famous for his catchphrase, change. Please welcome Barack Obama.
That's very good.
That's good. I would have fucked that. I would have
That
been
was
like,
really good.
Nah, I couldn't even
You
do
go.
it.
All right. And so I'll give you one. Ready?
Yeah, go.
And you're in a commercial radio show,
Yep,
you
yep.
two together, okay?
Yep.
Ed Sheeran's finishing, and I'll whisper it to you and see if Bron gets it, okay?
They have parodied him on South Park. He did some questionable things. He has brown hair and he likes weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, Osama bin Laden.
Close, Saddam Hussein.
All right, your turn,
He
Bron.
has brown hair.
That was terrible.
Fuck me.
That was terrible.
I can't
yeah.
work
Oh
under
my
these.
God.
Do you want to play?
You go.
I'll give it a go.
I gotta think of one. A good one. Okay.
Can't be worse than fucking Saddam Hussein.
Well, that's pretty easy. I can't believe you couldn't get that. All right.
You ended on what you probably should have started with, but I still got it wrong.
What, weapons of mass destruction?
Yeah.
okay.
Brown
I think
hair,
he's better.
brown
I think he's
hair.
more than that. This is stressing me out.
Oh my God. Okay.
Without mentioning the exact thing.
Sure,
Okay,
sure,
go.
sure.
I'll get it.
Okay.
All right, and now you got to back announce the
Katy
song.
Perry. Oh, that was Katy Perry's Firework.
Singular.
Not bad.
Singular.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and up next we have
Not up now,
one
they're on the
half.
line.
No,
Up
now
now.
we have one half of a very famous duo. They make people feel a bit sick when they're together. They use something from the kitchen together. Welcome,
I can't even get
one girl from two.
Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Already
I was
got
like,
it.
there's no way you're doing that.
I can't remember their hair color.
They're brunettes. They're
Oh,
from Brazil.
I don't think when anyone was watching Two Girls, One Cup, they go, wonder what color her hair is.
Might have been blonde at the start, but certainly brown by the end.
It was all brown by the
Can
end.
I tell you something? That those two lovers, they fell in love, it's part of a Brazilian film, and the director of Two Girls, One Cup is banned from America.
What?
Because of that?
So that
Yeah.
was actually part of a feature film
Yeah,
when
it's
there was
part of a longer film.
a glass jar went up. If you haven't seen
No,
Two Girls, One Cup.
no, not a glass jar one up. That's one guy, one jar.
Oh, well,
What
Two
are you-
Girls- well, what's the
It's a
cup?
cup.
That's
not
I'm
a-
looking at.
No,
I'm
no,
thinking of the jar guy.
Yeah, you're thinking of one jar, one guy. One
What's the
guy,
jar?
one jar. It's
Oh,
pretty
no.
obvious. One guy,
Okay.
one jar. See if you can.
No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm
Guess where
so
he puts
upset. No, thank you.
Guess how it goes. Guess how
no,
it ends.
I don't want to.
Spoiler alert.
Does he prolapse?
Structural integrity of glass isn't that great.
No way, not under that much
I do
Well,
know
pressure.
exactly
Two
it
Girls, One
is.
Cup. Then
They fall in love. So initially they've had a big meal, and they're thinking about having something to.
Oh, that's right. They're shitting in the cup. Is that right?
Well, initially, and then they fall in love, and they take it from they're in love. So what do you want from me? That's
That
and now
is
because of
so
their love
yuck.
story, they're banned from America.
the director.
The director's banned from
Yep.
America.
And where's he from? Did you say?
He's Brazilian.
Brazil.
But also, you couldn't be held accountable because you're just an actor. I'm playing a character,
Exactly right.
so that's not. None of that's their fault.
So true.
It's
I'm thinking
wait.
one guy, one jar still, and I'm
Oh
thinking.
no!
It's not
Why
as
did
good.
everyone
It's not as-
see
it's not
that?
as good.
Was that an entire film? That one?
It's more of a short.
It's more of a TikTok.
Yeah,
30
he was
seconds.
before his time.
It's-
He
yeah.
was- actually, do you know what?
He
If
was
you're a
ahead of me.
TikToker and you're watching this, and you're doing top 3 guys to make sure a guy likes you, you are fucking wasting people's time. Go and watch One Guy, One Jar, and see what the internet. And see what the internet used to provide. Real
Real
people.
good shit.
Real people.
Oh,
providing real entertainment.
Head to rotten.com and fucking fix your life.
Thank you. Out there?
Yeah, it's hard to find, but I'll send you a VHS.
You can always find it. It's like that Kardashian porno they've tried to take off forever. It
try and
always
take-
pops up.
They
Does
didn't
it?
try and take that
It's
off.
always on.
I've
Not
never
that I'm on
seen it.
Pornhub that often, but there's a little window of it every now and then.
Window.
Why would they take it off? They wouldn't have tried to take that
Well,
off.
I
That
don't-
made her
I don't know who
famous.
owns
They've got internet scrubbers.
But
You know-
that made her famous. Wasn't she thrilled with it?
But thrilled, but then not thrilled because then people can resell it. Remember the big issue with the Pamela Anderson one and Tommy Lee is that it was stolen and the people who stole it made all the money off it back before they could catch up with it. So they would keep getting more bootleg versions of it and they couldn't catch up with the royalties of it.
Notice
Okay.
how it's all the guys are unfazed because they got big dicks. It's like, oh God, I hate this for me. I'm having sex with a beautiful lady and everyone gets to see my big penis.
But that's been Tommy Lee's. Like he recently did an Instagram post just of it out in a spa. Like that's the best thing that ever happened to him. It was the
what?
best thing.
He gets it out again in the spa.
Yeah, he's recently on Instagram. He's just like, here it is, and then Instagram, you can't do that. But by that stage, the internet had already got it, and then went back around. So that's his act. That's been his act for 30 odd years.
Well, yeah, and drumming. But I suppose he's not like. Do you follow?
No, I've seen them live. I mean, I don't know. I imagine your Parkway Drive? Is that your go?
I don't mind Parkway Drive, but
Okay.
I'm more old school, like Metallica, Pantera, Sepultura.
Gotcha. All right, yeah. I saw a video of Metallica at a Judas Priest concert.
Well, I would love that.
Yeah, I thought you might. And they were in the audience, and they were doing air guitar to Judas Priest.
Yeah.
And are you okay with that? Are you okay with a famous rock band doing air guitar to another famous rock band?
I would love that. I reckon
Right, I
that
thought
would
you
make
might.
me happy.
Okay.
I thought you
yeah,
might.
yeah. I saw Judas Priest a couple of years ago, and he used to be quite buff and whatever. He's put on a bit of weight, but he still drove out on like a Harley
That's
onto
good.
the stage.
Oh,
and I was like,
really?
he's still got it.
So
But then
do
it
they
took him-
take the Harley everywhere, or is it a new Harley in every city? Did it look new?
It looked new. I don't think they. But also, they probably would take a Harley with them. It's a prop. They're millionaires. Why would they give a
They were
fuck?
allowed. They could buy one at each place.
Yeah,
They're
but that's a
fine. Chuck
fuck
it in the
around,
I
isn't
river.
gotta find that out.
Who-
Chuck it in the river.
Just chuck it in the river. Who
Chuck it in the river
cares?
at the end.
How
It's
is
only
it?
50,000
Have you guys ever chucked anything in a river?
Brett certainly
shopping
has.
trolley.
Oh my
Yeah, how
gosh.
satisfying is it?
It's the
Have
best.
you?
A river or a creek?
Creek.
Because where are you from?
Forestfield. So
Okay.
there's the Woodlapine Creek goes through it, and we used to throw so much shit.
Where'd you
into
get in there?
We
Shopping
used to
trolley, yeah.
shopping trolley,
my gosh.
skateboards, anything you could
Skateboards?
find.
Why would you throw a skateboard in?
They're not yours.
Oh, fair
They're-
enough
You know what I mean? They're not
Shopping
mine.
trolleys
know,
are like
sorry.
$2,000. Paul Woolworths. You ever
Oh,
thought about that?
Paul Woolworths.
They gotta go in.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Have you ever chucked a shopping trolley in the creek?
Never.
It's
We
heaven.
used to jump our BMXs into the creek.
Real talk.
What? Into
That's
all
living.
the trolleys. It would have hurt
No,
you.
well,
little
the
No.
trolleys
toes.
are off to the
There's
side.
trolleys
You know,
are-
throw sticks in there.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Rocks.
Rocks.
Rocks and sticks.
Rocks and sticks. Unbelievable.
That's where I was
Road sign?
telling
You
you.
ever chuck a road sign? That's satisfying.
No, because I got traumatized because I heard that story about when we used to jump on road signs. That
Ow.
guy lost all his
I know.
fingers.
Is that true, that story?
I don't know, but it made me stop
I'd heard.
doing
I
it.
was from Brisbane and I'd heard that story.
Yeah,
What?
right.
And,
had done the rounds nationally.
Did someone
Oh,
make
trampoline.
them?
We threw a trampoline
You
in
threw
there.
a
Yeah, how'd you get a
trampoline.
tramp?
There's a trampoline on someone's front lawn.
Yeah, hard rubbish was the.
None, it wasn't hard rubbish.
It was just a beloved family.
Yeah.
Oh, now I don't love
kids.
it.
No, and
Nah,
then
see, now we don't
we
love
tried
it.
to throw it in
Nah,
the
we don't
creek.
love it
really
now.
mean,
And then we
Brett.
couldn't get it into the creek, but then we stole it for like 6 months and then put it to my mate's back of his house and no one could see it. But when they moved, then we're like, what the fuck do we do with this trampoline? And then we just took it back to the guy's house at night.
Oh, that's good.
6 months later. So we didn't
And so
we
he
borrowed it.
We
so
borrowed
he,
it.
Was he thrilled? Do you know?
He
I
wouldn't
don't
have
know.
known.
I don't know. I'd say he'd be pretty thrilled. How can he be disappointed on a trampoline?
That's right. Just jumping.
good point.
Those bloody
Well, he's
kids.
like, where the
Actually, this is
fuck was
pretty
that for
fun. I'm
6
actually having a
months?
pretty
Yeah.
good time. Actually, fine. This is
Did it
all
have the
right.
nets up?
No nets. It just was
The
the old
olden
school
days.
ones.
Yeah,
No, it's not these soft cock stuff. They're exposed springs. But the creek is where we used to find bush porn. And that's where we used
People
to dig
stash
up.
the
Porn.
mags?
Back to
Stash the
porn.
mags.
Great.
Yeah, we used to
So
dig
who
it up. Have a
stashed
little
them,
look.
do you reckon? Who
I reckon
was
older
doing that?
kids.
Older boys.
Older kids. But then you pointed out today,
Take
which
'em off their dad.
traumatized me, that they were jacking off in the near
Of
it.
course, that's all you did. It's
Fuck,
like a little
yeah,
area
bush
where
wank.
you just wank together.
Hey, a fucking old
Yucky.
school bushwank. That is.
Have you ever done a bushwank?
No.
Hey, I don't think you're living until you've done one.
Have you? How many states have you bushwanked?
I don't think I've bushwanked. Actually, no. Well, I've had sex
Define-
outside.
Oh, really? How many states?
One.
Which one?
West Australia. Oh, no, Victoria as well.
So two.
Two. But technically I was inside, but then I went outside. It wasn't my fault.
So you started
tent
I was at
Inside?
inside.
Meredith's Music Festival
Oh,
in a tent
now
having
we're
sex.
talking.
And then a big And they said, don't be a fuckhead the whole festival. And I
Don't be a
wasn't a
fuckhead.
fuckhead, but the tent, like there was a big breeze and it knocked the top of the tent off. And I was just exposed in the fly net. Me and this lady were having a nice
That's
time.
beautiful.
In
That's
front of
that's a
Matt Stewart's dad and granddad.
No.
It was awful.
Sorry, this is a really romantic story. So what? So that was our alfresco
horrible.
love.
Yes.
Not your fault.
Not my
a
fault.
gust of the Lord needed to see it and
Yes.
gave you a gust. And
I
how
think
many
it was
people saw
over.
it?
I reckon upwards of 8 at the campsite and about maybe 50 people who were walking
And did
by.
it get a cheer?
No, I got a lot of, fuck.
Why?
Well, that's what I thought. I thought it would have been like, hell yeah, brother.
Hang on. What's the basis of their offence?
I would
So what am I
say-
offended by?
I would say everyone was waiting for me to be a fuckhead.
But why? Well, how are you being a fuckhead if you're having
Did you
making
do it on
beautiful
purpose?
love?
Did you let it
in a
go?
tent?
Did you
No.
push it off?
No, I
Okay.
did not.
Well,
Hang on. So what? And what? So I'm still nervous. I still need to know why. So why are they annoyed at you for that? You taking it into a tent romantically?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not your fault. So what? So if I was accusing you, the people who were accusing you, what were they accusing you of?
I just think they were like bringing down the
was it in
vibe.
your head?
Maybe it was internal.
head.
Because everyone was told me not to be a fuckhead.
There you go.
stick to the trolleys,
Yeah,
Brett.
it's in
and
your head.
leave the
That
ladies
happened.
alone.
I reckoned it was cool. No, no one cheered.
It was definitely
No one
that's
cheered.
wrong. That's wrong.
No, it's because of.
That's not Australia.
Was she embarrassed?
I think
She
so.
would have been
yeah.
really
But also,
embarrassed.
I was
Yeah,
very
true.
high at the time as well. So I was, no matter what happened, I was having a good time.
Was there a
What a
lady
day.
there?
They're probably not. It was probably just me in my hand.
Were
I was
you at
having a wank.
Meredith?
I wasn't in Meredith.
No one's going to cheer that.
I was down at the Coburg Park having a wank.
Oh no. And you obviously
great
work
stuff.
on radio because you
Yeah.
derailed this enormously. Well done.
14 minutes, we haven't even
we
talked to you
usually
yet.
run such a tight ship.
Yes.
No, you
Don't we,
don't. I listen to this show.
Hey,
No,
hey,
you
hey,
don't.
hey, 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 hey.
No, you
professional.
don't.
I need to know, with all the jobs you've had, and you've had
Yeah.
so many,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is the worst job you've ever had?
But so obviously, because I listened to the show, I was thinking about this, and I was like, "This." When you ask people this question,
Yes.
it normally falls into one of two categories. They either immediately start blaming a boss for something that, on reflection, when I listen, I'm like, "That was you, right?"
Yeah.
That's,
Give me examples of
That's
who
very,
it was.
I'm
Calculated,
not going to
Yes.
throw anyone under buses, but that is
Yeah.
often what takes place.
Episode 12, 18, and 22.
You know
We're
who you
talking-
are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Yeah.
But the other category is often that people sort of it's almost a humble brag in terms of I had this job where I was ... and they're often in not bad locations and now I'm doing so well, which is fine, right?
Okay.
So so I was thinking about it and I was like, all right, so I've had jobs which were categorically not fun. So I was a labourer, I got fired because I was just I had a golf course and I was no good
yeah.
at it, so I got fired, right? But
So
that's
you were
on
labouring at a golf course.
yeah, because the sand, you got to move the sand. They get deliveries of sand for the sand traps from very specific places.
Yes, okay.
And you have to move the sand to the fucking holes, right? So
Which would suck.
it's the worst, right? Because it's so pointless. The futility of life is the first shovel goes in and you go, this is futile, right? So I got fired from that. And then I worked, I could.
How old were you?
16. And then I worked at a,
Did you tell them that when you put the shovel in? You go, this is futile.
Yeah, you probably
They're like,
did.
why?
As 16-year-old to a
he's like, he knows a
50-year-old.
lot of big words.
get the fuck
Get
out.
rid of him.
So then I worked at a dry cleaners that I could see from the golf course. So I was,
Oh.
but in the dry cleaners, I was the actual. So in the back of the dry cleaners, we
Yes.
just see the people at the front, the tickets,
Yes.
Yeah,
the spinning on
The
the clo-
glamorous side of the dry cleaner.
yeah, the Monaco end.
Yeah.
They call it the Paris end
Paris
of the
end
dry cleaner.
yeah.
Mate, I was
Yep.
I was in the engine room where you got the mannequins where you have to. So you put the clothes on the
do you?
mannequin, push the button, it steams it, right?
So you got to dress a mannequin. Is that how that
yes,
happens?
Yes, there's a male one and a female one. And I insisted that we got a non-binary one.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's 2024.
You have to.
And I'm going on the project
Good.
to promote it tonight.
God, you were progressive
Good.
even at
This
fucking
is
18.
good. Yeah, this is
I'm the
good.
most progressive person you'll ever meet.
Okay.
And that's just the fucking way it is. So then anyway, so that job is terrible because it is boiling hot.
Yeah.
It is non-fucking stop, and you come out, you stink like a dry cleaner. You smell like a dry
So
cleaner.
many chemicals.
There'd be so much
Surely
cum.
do they die?
Now, hang on, we'll get back to that. But there are so many chemicals.
So
you
many.
feel your nose. So your nose starts to speak, and your nose goes, "I don't know about this, man. This feels toxic."
Yeah.
Like you actually, your brain is going, "No,
Yeah.
not again, please."
Oh,
and then
really?
you get headaches because your brain's going, "Not again."
Sure.
And then but then
Did
you
you
ask,
work with old people? Or were they all dead? That's why, because I'm just trying to think.
you don't
Have
get
I
old.
ever?
You don't get
seen-
old doing that.
The chemicals
I'm
freeze
just
you in
wondering, have I
time.
ever seen an old dry cleaner? And I don't think I have.
Ed's actually 80, but the chemicals are frozen his face.
So now let's go back to your question.
Is there cum?
No, because I see it post washing. after all the comes off it, this is the sort of steaming bit. That's I wasn't allowed to touch the actual washing machines. I had to do the steaming bit after, which is heaps worse. But I'm sure there was a fair amount of jism initially.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hope so.
Oh, you wouldn't take. Why would you wear a lovely thing before you did something as revolting as what you're
but
talking
I'm just saying,
about?
because you do linen, you do heaps of things.
Yeah.
Cum just goes everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Suits, we do a lot of
arse
suits.
Juices. I mean, I wouldn't like to
Arse
be.
juice. Excuse me, sir. We've got a special on arse juice this week, sir.
If you're running a marathon, your undies, I've been running 5K. No one wants to touch that stuff.
Have you been running 5Ks?
5K a day.
At what point in the run do you think that the juice starts flowing?
Yeah.
I reckon about. Well, I've been running at night because it's been cold. So I'd say to the last 4K, it really gets swampy down there.
Of course, we all know. Of course, we all know Robert De Castella, the famous story.
What's this?
In the Brisbane Commonwealth Games, and Deke is obviously not hometown, but he's Australian, and he comes around the bend near the Story Hotel. Anyway, and everyone's out. The Regatta Hotel, can't remember one of the two. Everyone's out the front, and Deke quite obviously shits himself.
Yes.
And
Does it go down? Does he have little shorts on?
he had little shorts, but he kept it internal, and he just kept running and won.
How do you obviously? Like when you say obviously,
when you see
was
the
there
tape,
a cup? There are two girls in a cup?
No, well done. Do
Okay.
you go to the do you have any? Can you go to the tape?
Yeah.
All right, go
I'm
to the
not
tape.
going to, but I can.
No, do it.
Okay, go to the tape.
Go to the tape. Here he goes. Okay, he's out the front of the hotel.
Yeah.
It's that moment there. You just see the mustache twitch slightly, and that's the Deke, and he wins.
Yeah, but how far away is he from the finish line?
No, it's a good 10Ks. He's not there. 10 something Ks from memory, but because he's back in the city of Brisbane.
Okay, if it's 1K, I'm like, I don't care. If he's running 10Ks fully loaded,
Strong.
full respect.
Yeah, he's
So
a
what
ledge.
do they usually do? Do they like if it's say like 100?
No,
What they
no.
call it a
The
giant
ultra
run,
marathon?
Ultra
No,
marathon.
you wear
Do
it.
they just
No, you
pull
just
your
wear it.
hands?
Do you know what I watched?
You don't duck
wear
into
it.
the bush.
What was that? What's
Just
that?
wear it.
Here we go. I've started a little rant. It's a marathon, and they got to find these bits of a novel. And it's hidden in the forest. It's like the craziest
Wow, what
ultra
is
marathon
this?
in the world.
I love
I watched
this.
a documentary.
Okay.
So only
Which novel?
it's in America somewhere in the forest in
In
Kentucky
the
or some
Appalachians?
shit.
Is this in the Appalachian Mountains?
No. So only the best runners in the world. The best runners in the world
I'm
are
gonna get
allowed
this.
to enter it.
Oh.
And it goes for like 60 hours
She's going to
straight.
shit me if I don't find this
Yeah.
out.
Google, and you got
60
to
hours of
find,
running,
and it's
every
and
page of a
So
novel.
this guy has, he ran for 60 hours straight, no sleep. Only 5 people in the world have ever finished it.
Oh my
And
God.
it's
What
once
did
a
you
year.
watch it on? What did you watch
I
it on?
watched it on Netflix. Oh no, it was on YouTube. They're both red, Ed. So and then there's all these weird games, and you got to navigate with a compass, and you got to find 12 pages of the book.
Yep.
And then once you complete that, then you get into another section. But you're up for you're running like 60 odd Ks. Like you run for 9 hours a day.
Oh my
You don't have
God.
any time for sleep.
It's like an escape room, but like for psycho fit people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's up and apparently you got more incline and decline in a day than Mount Everest. It's called
Is that what you're training for?
Is it called the Barclay
Marathon?
Bang? Barclay Marathon. Here we
Barclay
go.
Marathon.
Here it comes. After completing 4 loops. No, I
And
don't.
these guys go crazy.
Yeah. Oh, 40
They would go
40
crazy.
sleepless hours, threading and thrashing through the untracked hollows and highlands of Frozen Head State Park in the Cumberland Mountains of East Tennessee. Wow. At the top of Little Hell, blah, blah, blah.
Little hell.
Little
Yeah,
hell.
that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's such a great doco. And this guy fucking tries it twice and fails both times. But he's one of the
This is
best
great.
ultra
Keeps
marathon
doing
runners
right.
in the world. But on the last one, I won't ruin it for everyone, but he just made one tiny little mistake, which you do to fatigue, and he was 6 seconds late, and then he lost it.
Prior to this year's
No.
Berkeley's 37-year
you could
history,
kill yourself.
only 15 people had ever accomplished the feat. So 15 people have finished it in 37 years.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is full on. Oh, they've got to crack the code as well. So all right. So you've also got to find your way by using this stuff.
Yeah, you got to use a compass to navigate and find these pieces
is
of books,
wonderful.
which gives you a code, and you got to hand in your piece of paper, and then he gives you some more information, and then you just got to go run for fucking another 12 hours.
Oh, this does sound like something you'd like to do, Ed.
14 paperbacks, books scattered around the course.
Yeah.
They tear out the page that corresponds with their race number to prove they've reached that spot. Gotcha.
Oh.
How fun. All right, I'm going to watch that.
I thought you would be into that for some reason.
Do you want to do it?
Nah, the sort of the maddening long fitnessy things don't thrill me. But although the best video of all time is, of course, the crawl.
What's the crawl?
Ah,
What's that?
cut to the crawl. This is a very heavy editing job for me.
It's not my problem. So
that's really not.
Have you not seen The Crawl?
No.
All right, let's play a game. Do you want to know how to get
Do
to
the jar first.
Yeah, we
one
go.
guy, one jar, and then we'll look at the
Okay,
crawl.
do you know how?
That guy was crawling at the end.
Do you know how the best way to get to know someone in 2020, whatever year you're listening to this? The best way. There's simple. There is an answer. Have we discussed this before? There is a best way to get to know people, and it is foolproof.
Okay.
You asked me this. You said to me,
naked in a forest.
You go, what podcast are you listening to? And
No,
I'll say,
that's one. The better one is
yes.
You go. You just say to people, "What are your last 3 YouTube searches?" That's all you need.
Okay.
That's all you need to know. Everything you need to know about a person.
Okay.
So here comes the crawl. No, you're not allowed to laugh. So it's the 1997 Ironman World Championships.
Yes.
And it's the female event. Sian Welch, and Wendy Ingram.
Oh, go on. Come on.
Right.
She looks real sore. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Her legs are
the legs are
wobbly
gone.
Thing.
Please,
what are
is
you
she going to
do,
shit herself?
Sean? Oh, no.
Please shit herself.
White pants
She's
on.
up again.
Come on, mate. You could do it.
Uh-oh.
Wobbly wobbly.
Because yep. Someone's so close behind.
Get out of there, Wendy.
Here
Here we go.
Here comes someone.
Is that Wendy?
No, that's a dude.
40 miles.
Okay.
It's come down to less than
I don't see
100
gender.
feet
Here we go.
to that damn line.
Damn right.
Here she comes.
Come on,
She's
Sean.
up. She's up.
Oh, no. One's going again.
Uh-oh.
Just one looks strong. One leg
pretty
looks
good.
strong.
Uh-oh.
Don't get it. Oh, no. Don't push him. Don't go too
Oh,
far.
someone else says she's going to lose the race.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Just relax. Just slowly.
Oh, my God,
How
please.
far is this a marathon?
Yep.
Yes. Oh. And it's the end. Oh,
I feel so bad for her.
Here comes.
Get out of here, you bitches. Let it.
Oh, there's another one, crawl. What the fuck?
Here comes Wendy.
So there's 2 of them both cramped up.
Yeah.
She is.
Okay, now I think I know why it's called the crawl.
Wait for it. Not yet. Okay, she's okay. Here comes Wendy.
She's like crab running.
Here comes Wendy. Oh, she's tipped over. No, they're both falling.
This is an episode of South Park.
And now they're crawling to the finish line.
Oh no! Just crawl. Wendy squeaked it out. Oh
That
my
is
gosh, this is
It's
so...
fucking insane.
And what for? What for?
For us to talk about it on this pod.
Is this why you don't watch women's sport unless it ends like this?
Mate, if every sporting event ended like this, isn't that the best?
Oh,
That's great.
it's really
That's the crawl.
good.
It looks
So-
made up.
Crawl rules.
Is that something that's always in your search?
It's always ready to go.
Oh.
I got a hotkey for the crawl.
You got a hotkey for the crawl?
hotkey.
That window is
got a
always off to the side.
Do you remember the first YouTube video you ever watched?
No.
No.
Maybe it was Two Girls, One Cup. That was ages ago.
No, first YouTube video. Do you remember the
can't-
first YouTube video ever?
No,
Angus Sampson showed me. I was sitting at a radio station, and Angus Sampson, me and Tony were there, and because Tony loves, Martin loves all like footage and old things, and Tony Martin for years had access to the Channel 9 video library, and so he would just go in there and look for things and find little, he was a human YouTube back in the day, and Angus said, Tony, there's a new service that's going to change your life. And Tony's like, what is it? He goes, it's called YouTube.
Oh.
And he brought it up. And when Tony's like, what's on there? And he's like, a lot of things, like this. And he showed us a thing called Little Superstar, which was a guy in a Bollywood film that was just amazing. And I'll never forget it. And Tony was just like transfixed. And then he just started putting in old Johnny Carson clips. And that was the last I saw of him. It was 20 years ago. Yeah.
Still a
I remember
computer.
Salad Fingers. Remember Salad Fingers? That was
Oh,
very popular.
yeah, that one might have been up there for me as well.
Yeah, Salad
I don't
Fingers.
know, I was never
'Cause
big on the internet.
How old are you, Ed?
Besides the porn.
45.
Yeah, okay. All right. I would have been, YouTube would have came out at the same time, I imagine, for all of us. But I don't remember. When did it come out? You know?
07. No, it came out in, officially, Google bought it, but I think it was out in, 02, sort of 02, 06, I think. It might have started in 06 from memory, but I might be wrong.
You do know everything. And
right.
have you, because you know everything.
I don't know anything.
You do know
I
everything.
don't know anything.
You know everything. You listen to podcasts
I don't
on
know
3
anything.
times
No.
speed.
I listen to podcasts on 1.5 or
Do you actually do that?
or 1.7, and then
Oh my God, that stresses me
books
out.
are on.
I like
Why?
to hear. I like to hear the
talking about?
breadth of it.
Oh, that makes me
I
want
like
to
to
kill
be-
myself.
to be in the zone of it.
That makes me
you're like, I don't want to. But you watch The Crawl. You're like, I don't want anything. I want everything fast paced besides my marathon.
The crawl, yeah, exactly.
Dude, do you understand? If you've got, I got a hecker's listening schedule, and you've got to get through it. You've got to get through it.
I'm in the car a lot. Like I got a 10-hour drive coming up on Wednesday.
Do you?
Yeah.
What have you loaded?
I haven't loaded anything, but I've been getting into.
What about audiobooks?
I've got a Jimmy Carr one, but I was like, oh.
Are you an Alan Partridge guy?
I do like Alan Partridge.
Have you got his new book, Big Beacon?
Is it?
I'll send me your email. I'll gift it to you.
Okay.
It's
so
the
you
best
listen to audiobooks as well?
Oh, you got you.
Double speed.
Yeah.
1.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much data are you absorbing per day, Ed?
What do you mean?
Like hours of content?
Yeah, as much as I'm trying to get in as much as I possibly can. Yeah.
Okay. This freaks me out.
And is this how your brain always works? Like, do you ever have a day where you're just like slow?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Like, do you
No, I worked when I was a kid. I worked at a video shop back when there was such a thing, and that's what really got me going because I had two bosses that were very strict with me. Three bosses that were very strict about the things I was allowed to watch and the things I wasn't. And so they were like, right, you're going to watch these films in order. They're the ones you need to watch, and then these documentaries. And that's where it started because they were adamant about, all right, you need to watch this, and then that links to this, and that's sort of where it started.
Now working at the video shop, that's got to be a good job.
It's the best, unversable.
Because you can watch the movie while people are just fucking around.
Yeah, it's undefeated. And you get to take them home and you just go, so there's two schools of thought on the video store now where it's like either people think it's the best because you got to watch whatever you want, and then other people will say these days, oh, it was awful because it means you watch films like The Breakfast Club and you watch them 10 times and you convince yourself they're genius when they weren't that good. But that's all about your own sort of...
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I'm nostalgic for? I miss... I hope that's that word, the right word. But when you go to the video shop and you'd have to look behind it to see if it was there.
Amazing.
And sometimes it wasn't there and you'd hang around to see if anyone would be returning it.
You go and ask. We always had a couple under the counter. I remember for people we knew and liked, and then that was a good system. That was a great system.
People who didn't throw trolleys into the creek, probably, so you wouldn't have ever been allowed it.
The lady at the video shop was quite nice to us.
Was she?
She was.
We were very loyal. We went to the old video
though.
shop and then they moved to the new shopping complex. We followed them over.
Went. There's $6.60 a night for new releases.
I like the one new and then you get 5 weekly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. There's a guy, we used to have absolutely. That 10, the stack of weeklies for a certain amount, unbelievable deal.
That's good value.
You can give yourself an education
and
with
what
that.
about, because it has been such a strong theme on this episode, did anyone have any ways to hide the adult films when they came to hire them?
They were only R. We didn't have X, but some shops had X. We didn't have X. Did they have X at your video shop?
I think they did.
Come
you
on,
had
you
like
know.
a section. Yeah. Because I was always like, just trying to have a look at the back of the cover. Like,
but did they?
No, I wasn't doing that.
But did they have X at yours? Because they didn't.
I think they might have had
We were
X.
strict at ours. Our boss was very strict that we weren't going to have them under the counter. But then, two police officers in uniform one day came in and gave us the celebrity sex tapes that were doing the rounds at the time.
Why?
I won't even say who they were, but they were three very famous ones, and two police officers in uniform.
Just from their private collection? Like, check this out.
No, they'd been confiscated, and they rocked up, and they were like, and they just gave them to my boss. And my boss, I said, what's that? And he goes, oh, these are the two celebrity sex tapes. I said, really? He goes, yeah. I go, because the cops got free videos, and then they were just like, oh, the guys are like this. They work at a video shop. Here you go.
People who have access can watch it instantly. That's wild.
Unbelievable day.
And you were a teenager?
Yeah, I was like 14. That day I was
give it
about.
to the child. Here.
No, my boss. They gave it to my boss.
But they could see you there.
I don't think we had full like blue movies.
No, they some places
But
had
also,
X.
who's hiring that shit? It's like when you see
People
like
used to hire-
graphic novels you could hire,
Yeah.
and even at sex shops you could hire videos. What?
A lot of people.
It's rank.
No, we used to have a lot of people come and just go. And actually, I mean, we had a Dutch guy join this Dutch bloke came and started working at the video shop. And I remember him saying to me once, because guys would come, like dudes would come and buy like 7 pornos, weekly ones, just 7, right? And then they'd bring it back and we'd always have to rewind it because you could see where they stopped watching.
30 seconds in. It was a long rewind.
And so then anyway, this guy was like, I don't understand. I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, why don't the young women take the adult movies, right? And he's like, in Holland, it's just young women taking out
Pornos.
mad XXX pornos in the one that he worked in Holland. And I was like, you should start recommending them to the young women that come
That
in.
wouldn't be creepy at all. That's a great idea.
Just for
Talk
my
to
own
the young
amusement.
ladies about it.
Just for my own
That is
amusement.
psychotic. And you think you didn't get fired?
No. It's great.
I reckon you like this one.
It was so, why don't you take something from the back corner? So anyway, it was so
Let
good.
me
So
watch
that's your
you
favourite
watching
job.
it.
Of all the jobs you've ever had, that's your favourite one.
Oh, I think that's right. I think
pretty good.
Because you've been on TV forever, haven't you? So that
Forever.
you had from when I remember you as a kid.
Thank God you're here.
Was
From
that your
Thank God
first?
You're Here.
Was that your first time you were on television?
Yeah, I was at uni. I was at Sydney Uni doing theatre sports and
And that's where you started, theatre
correct.
sports.
Yeah, that's right. That's me and Steve Raskopoulos, Virginia Gay, Jordan Raskopoulos, many people, Claudia O'Doherty, Zoe Coombs-Marr, many people started through that that pipeline.
Right.
And people I'm forgetting, Virginia Gay. So anyway, lots and lots of people came through that pipeline. Oh, Susie Youssef.
Oh, wow.
Lots and lots of people.
And
that's
your
it's
first gig was on Thank God You're Here.
So I was hosting the theatre sports at uni, which was a great job that Adam Spencer had. Then Rob Carlton had it. Rob Carlton handed it to me. And then I was doing at Belvoir Street, which is a theatre there. They had the sort of semi-professional one. And some uni people got to go and play at that. And I was playing theatre sports with two people called Nikki Parry and Dan Cordeau. And Glenn Robbins came to see a show one day. I didn't know he was there. And then we just did the show as we normally would. And then I was in my Black Thunder in Bankstown at a service station on my birthday. I was turning 24.
Like under the radio one that
Yeah,
gives
the
out
radio.
chocolate milk and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly
Yep,
right.
yep.
And my phone rang and a voice said hello. I said hello, and she said, hi, my name is Deb. I'm from a production company called Working Dog. And it was
Wow.
literally out of the blue. And then we did a test for that
That's
at
amazing.
a theatre, a tiny theatre, and we were literally in Hessian Sachs, because the guys had already worked it out. And then from that we did a pilot, and then and then at the same time I was the reader at auditions. I couldn't get an agent. I wanted to be an actor. I started off wanting to be an actor. I couldn't get an agent, and then I did an audition for Blue Heelers, the old.
Yeah.
The guy said to me, "Is it Mulliners in Sydney?" And he said, I said, how'd I go? It was to play a policeman. I sort of looked like a policeman. And I said, how'd I go? And I'll never forget it. The dude was behind a little camera like this. And he goes, yeah. I go, no, I'm actually just starting out. And he turned it off. And he goes, do you want me to be honest? And I go, yep. And he goes, he turned it off. I'll never forget. You know that noise, diddlink? You know that little noise, little JVC noise?
Yes.
He went, diddlink? And I was like, oh God. And he goes,
Not too
"All right."
honest. Not
He
too
goes,
honest.
people actually don't want me to be honest. I said, I want you to be honest. I'm just starting out. Please. He goes, right. And he stood up. I'll never forget it. Mike. And he stood up and he goes, you are not handsome enough to play leading men. You're also just on the edge of not being creepy enough to play bad guys. However, there is a mildly semi-interesting comic element to you. You should try comedy.
Oh,
Right?
That's a positive then.
that's great.
And I was like, great, thanks. He probably saved me 20 years
yes.
of wondering why I wasn't Chris Hemsworth. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that your own.
Wow.
I was like, okay, it doesn't matter how I see myself. If that's how, when I'm auditioning for things, because I think I look like a policeman, but he's telling me I look too ridiculous. I was like, great. And then I got a job, I was like the reader in audition. So I would come and I would watch people audition for things. And I could start to tell straight away. I could tell straight away when people came in. I'd be like, yep, nope. And it had nothing to do with acting. Acting ability is essentially the same.
Yeah,
Anyone
okay.
can do it, basically.
Oh, so what is it? What is the thing that you?
There is just either the camera agrees with you,
right,
or you just happen to fit into
The mold.
the thing that they say is the thing that they want. You happen to fit into the thing, and then but there are tropes and sort of styles of roles that you just keep fitting into that, or you don't. And you can fight against it, and you ain't going to get nowhere.
I saw a director on a set, and they had they brought him an iPad, and they're like, "Oh, here's 8 people auditioning for this role." And when he goes, "Oh, okay," and he hits play, and just goes,
Yeah.
and didn't look at any of them doing any of the words. He goes,
What?
"That one," and then handed back the iPad.
And I've seen people do I've seen people do
gosh.
auditions. I remember, never forget it. I saw this female actor came in and did it was for a US pilot, and she came in and she did it. Her accent was amazing. She was beautiful in terms of, because it was like a role of like a police. It was always the same thing, like a cop, but sort of like a sassy cop. She was fucking unbelievable. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
What
she's
a
got
fucking
it.
star.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah. I'm like, what do you mean, nah? What do you mean? What are you
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I said, tell me, what is it? And she go, oh, so you notice how she's sort of brunette and she was sort of scowling a bit? And I was like, no. And they're like, yeah, they won't like that. Right? And
Whoa.
that she's now gone on to have a really big career, but
Yep.
always in serious. And I always notice her when I see her, semi-serious, grumpier, not grumpy, but like serious.
It's her
scowling.
Yeah, her natural fucking
Yes.
proclivities. Anyway. But the worst job I ever had, which was, so getting back to the point of the show. So I was
this
at,
is so
Please,
interesting.
while I was
please
at
rein
uni,
yourself in.
while I was at uni, I was doing various jobs before I got Thank God You're Here.
Yep.
And one of them was I was an usher. And I was an usher at the Footbridge Theatre, which they're currently redoing on Broadway, right? And so I was an usher for a few different like musicals. And anyway, we all got called in one day, and it was like a lineup, and we were just there by just standing there, all of us, and we're all students. And they were like, "You, me, I'm tall. You, another guy, he was sort of tall and wide. I'm like, okay, and you." And then there was a girl who was working, who would normally be ushering, but she got moved to the tickets at the front. And we're like, all right, whatever. And they go, okay, no worries, we've got a new show starting. How many nights can you do? And I go, I don't know, all of them. They go, great, you're booked. I go, do I get to do, because I just done an RSA, do I get to do the bar? They go, no. I go, I'm not really a very good usher. They go, don't worry about it. I go, all right. I rock
How
up.
can you fuck up ushering though? It's like, you little torch and
It's
shit.
time. How quickly you can get. So there's some of the good people, which I'm not good. So this girl had an amazing mental map of the theatre.
Of the seat, off, H7,
Yes.
over here.
And
Yeah,
she could tell you exactly, you go down there to this, and she would just get people in. It was crazy how good she was at it, which means the bar could stay open like 2 minutes longer.
Yeah, sure.
She was
It's a
amazing.
lot of
$1,000
drinks.
extra.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep,
There you
yep,
go.
yep.
You got it, right? Anyway, so I don't know what it is. So it was for puppetry of the penis,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I rock up.
So you were distracted straight away. I'm too busy looking at these sexy penises.
So I rock up, and I was like, I got there, and they told me, I was like, oh, right, yeah, fair enough. It was massive at the time, right? Not just the show. And so then I wanted it, and I was like, there was just a vibe in the air. Ladies were drinking.
Oh, man, it'd be so much Prosecco and
Yes.
horniness.
Yeah.
Ladies were shrieking.
Yeah.
Ladies were getting fired up.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there,
Hey, did you get groped?
and this other dude, and I'm like, and I said to the boss, I go, all right, so where? He goes, no, you two go down the front and face out.
Oh.
So the dick's to our back, right? And I go, what? And he goes, down the front, stand in the corners so you're not blocking the show, and face out. And I was like, for the front row, he's like, shut up, just do it. I was like, all right. We soon found out why.
Yes.
So we go in there, and Bev Keelik comes out and
Yes, I was gonna
destroys.
say.
Yes.
She's been on the
fucking
pod before. She's,
Destroys.
Yeah, she's
She
so good.
Tore the roof off.
Yeah.
Women were out of their chairs before the cocks even got out. They'd had a few ones, and they were out of their chairs.
Yeah.
Fucking over there, yeah. And just rampant.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this other dude, like we're looking at each other across the front of the stage while Bev's destroying behind us. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me the first night, and I'm like, uh-oh. We're in some trouble here.
We're fucked.
As in, like, what are they? You worried they're going to get on the stage?
Yes, they were rushing. The women
Oh
were
my
rushing
God.
the stage. So
That's
the
a
guys
riot.
come out and they go, "All right, and they hadn't even got it out yet. And women were out of their chairs, like
No.
doing the lurk, like lurking, like
No.
wine starting to swirl.
Just swirling while staring at a cock
Yeah,
doing
no,
a
The
hamburger.
cock's not even out yet.
Cock's not even out.
No. So the guys would try and do a bit of patter. They do a bit of chat before the cocks come out.
Oh, just get it out, boy. Stop fucking around.
You sound like them. Get out! Let's see some cocks! Let's see something! And then the first time
That
it
was
comes
Bev.
out, yeah, and they'd be charging, and they'd be up there like knocking each other, and he and I had to like go up and like just like, madam, would you please, madam, would you mind? Hey, fuck you, get out of me, fucking way, get out. Like, would you mind
Whoa.
retaking your seat? Wow! And then we had to try and get them out because they try and like. When they were out of their fucking minds.
Oh.
The first night I got home wearing a white shirt, it was soaked. It
In
was
what?
like I was in a wet
Wine?
t-shirt. Yes,
Prosecco,
yes.
holding
I was
people back.
Yes, I was in a wet t-shirt competition. We were soaked. I stank of cigarettes because they all just kept smoking. Could you put that out? Fuck off. But it was a zoo in there. It was ridiculous. And we get to the end of the night, I'm standing there and look at this other dude, and we're just soaked, and everyone else is laughing at us. And our boss is like, good night. All right, see you tomorrow. And we're like, nah,
Oh.
we want overtime.
Yeah.
It's like $17 an hour. And he goes, fuck you. Not fuck you. He goes, you students, you can fuck off. And we did that 14 nights in a row at the Footbridge. And it was
For $17 an hour.
unbelievable. It was just every night I was like, oh God, here we go.
Did you get any phone numbers?
Oh my God.
No, they're so great. You've got the focus and they were adamant. They were like,
Yeah, just
Could you
tuck
watch-
it in,
could you watch
turn
the-
around, go check out that one, ladies. Give us your number.
it was amazing. It was staggering. And
Could you-
I saw the show because
Yes.
what we started to do was like,
Is that what inspired you to get into the arts?
you're absolutely right.
This,
I want to go to Paris. So,
Is
so
this your origin story?
And because you know that, I don't know if he still had, but at the time, Malloy had written which is, I know this is a long showbiz story, but I think Mick Malloy had something to do with the patter in between, the jokes in between.
Oh,
so the jokes in between are really good.
Yeah, okay, great.
Really good. And so the cocks are funny. There's a cock looks like a wristwatch, but the jokes are really good. So the laughs were through the whole show, and people would come out of it just ecstatic.
Yeah,
I saw same women like twice. They would go, they'd get their friends, they fucking come back again. It was amazing.
It's so. Can you must have a theory on this? It does because it doesn't really exist anymore. Those two blokes, they've retired. They both have mansions in Byron Bay. They're so fun.
I think they've sold.
They've
got franchises of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why does it not? If this is the reaction it has from women,
I think they got it in Vegas. The show's in Vegas and all this shit.
But why is it not here?
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't be.
This is an opportunity, boys.
This could be it.
Well, they would hold auditions. They would hold auditions and they would say, "Oh, it's not really about the cocks. It's more about like if." And this is a fucking great point actually. That's something I'm reminded of it. Mm-hmm. The guys, the two dudes that were doing it, I can't remember their names. One was like a surfy dude. One was like a blonde, like a swarthy sort of dark-haired fellow. And I remember they were incredibly likable.
Yeah,
like they didn't make it seem weird, and they were laughing.
Mm-hmm.
They could tell it was ridiculous. They were amazingly well cast.
Mm-hmm.
They were so. Like it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fucking funny night, and they were really sort of charming.
They did it. They only did I think it was last Adelaide because Mickey D, our mate
Mickey D,
he jumped in because he's done.
Yes, he has. Yes,
he's a stand-in guy for puppetry.
Yes, he is.
Penis.
Yes,
he knows
he
it
is.
all.
Yeah, for many years. He knows the patter. He knows that because he knows the script.
He'd be very good at it.
Yes.
But
I think he's toured with them before.
Yeah, something like that. Or he opened for him.
Yes,
he knows the show back to front.
But would it hurt what they do?
No, they get. It's not like gymnastics. Like it just sort of. It's sort of placement, and then because the shrieking's happening, they sort of stop and then go quickly.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. They do a fake warm up. That's funny. The warm up's funny.
Is there a camera that they're like?
Yeah, so there's a camera sort of low, sort of waist height, just so the screen catches it, and it's a very well produced show.
And when you were trying to make it into the arts, if they said, Ed, you're so good at this, like you're so good at like dealing with these women. One of us is sick. Can you please stand in for us?
I probably would have done it, yeah.
I'd do it just now, just to see if I could.
I
was
like
so
for
nervous.
us.
No. Yeah, guys. I'm about to give you a demonstration.
He comes
on
on wristwatch.
Yeah.
He can do Saddam Hussein. It's amazing. So they, yeah. Oh, yeah, I would have.
So do you reckon that's the worst job you've ever had? Sure, even though it was only 2 weeks.
The worst job was the dry cleaning job.
Yeah, okay.
But I was thinking worst is like, look,
That's stressful.
Oh, the worst job I had was a debt collector for Telstra.
Are you knocking on doors?
No, phone calls.
That's not nice.
It was the full bit, the people ringing the bell, and there was a woman who was like, she just finished, I don't know what work it was, but her phone, what was funny about it was the early days of mobile phones, and she would be ringing people up asking for money for a Telstra. But then I was sort of sitting behind her, but I couldn't tell if it was that or the other things of her life, which were clearly involved in the illicit trade of various things. So she would be telling people, hey, we need to get this money. She'd put that down, and then I could hear her pick up her own phone and be like, yep, what time? Yep, good. How much? Yep, no worries. Can do it. So she was clearly dealing.
So she did have
with the perfect cover of being able to make as many phone calls as she wants to whoever she wants and not having it traced.
Very
clever.
It
was genius. That was shit. I worked out. I remember I said to this one woman, oh, hey, you got this bill. And she goes, you think you're so fucking good. I said, you're on this little power, I'll never forget, you're on a little power trip there.
And it's just on the phone. You're like,
and she goes, I got out of prison. And I was like, she's like, and I go, yeah, all right. And I realized, no, I didn't care. And I hated it. Yeah. So I just I would ring up and people would go, hi, I'm from such and such. And they go, I go, no, don't worry about it. I'm just here to say your debt's cleared. And I would start clearing debts.
Oh, really? You had the power to do that?
Yeah, I could just ding, and I got fired.
Because of that. They said, hey, that's great.
Well, you went
Robin Hood.
Fuck do I
Robin Hood, very cool.
And a guy rang his girlfriend. I'll never forget this. I didn't have a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend. This really sort of handsome, sort of buff dude. And he rang his girl. He used to just ring his girlfriend. He'd ring his girlfriend. He'd go, hey, babe, I'm thinking sex. Right? And then just hang up. But he'd do it a lot.
I'm thinking sex.
Yeah, hey, babe, I'm thinking sex.
He did not have enough words.
That's a weird way to... She's like, what? Did you want to fuck me or are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about me?
That's why I remember it. It was such a strange way to phrase it. I'm thinking sex. Bang. And he'd look at me and I'd be like, fuck oath. Now I am.
Hell yeah. I don't know what in context I'm thinking about it, but I'm confused.
All right.
Okay,
All
that's
right,
very
man.
cool.
I can dig it.
That's very cool. Now, have you ever quit in spectacular fashion?
yeah.
This is our favorite
Come
question for our
on.
guests.
If
Have you
you
ever
must
said,
have.
you know what? Fuck you. See you later, dickhead. Surely.
Surely.
No, I've been
Oh.
fired, but I haven't. Honestly, I've never really got to that point where. Oh, I've drifted. Like I've just not shown up to things, or I've just wandered off. But I've never had that moment. I've never done that. I've never
have
been
you-
in a situation
surely
where I
you've
thought it was
wanted
worth
to.
it. No, yeah, sort of. Oh yeah, got you.
Yeah.
But I've never had the. It's never got to the point where it was like, this will be worth it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you must have watched someone do it.
Oh, I've seen people really flame on, which is
It's
fun.
the best.
Oh, it's the
Oh,
best.
I love
the
it.
Best.
Flame
I
on is
love
the
it.
flame
It's
on.
the best.
Flame on is the absolute. It's flame on
And
is
you
the
just
absolute best.
freeze and go, oh, yeah. I'm
I
absorbing
got-
all these rays.
A guy at work at the video shop, he was real. He wrote a note once that just said "pick up bits off floor," and he stuck a post. It was really crazy.
I'm thinking sex
No,
was
yeah,
the
that's
PS.
exactly right. Pick up bits off floor. And another mate of mine who worked there, he was like, "That's it, I've had it." So he got a post-it notes and put about 150 just around the video store and waited. And then our boss came in and, "What's all this?" And he's like, "Well, no, read them all." And he's like, "What?" And then he just left. It was great.
Great.
That was really good.
That is good.
It took ages to do all the post-it notes.
Did you have to pick them up?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I actually did. Actually, now that I think
Yeah,
about it.
that's what every common
Now
thing
I
was like,
remember
I
it,
pushed
yeah.
this thing over, I kicked that down. It's like, but then someone else, one of your mates, always ends
Yeah,
up
you're
having
right.
to fix
I
it.
did have to. And I remember the last one on the top was a picture of a stork in Argyle socks that he'd drawn.
Hey, that's very clever.
Creative.
Yeah, and I do remember thinking, it's a sick drawing.
Oh,
So that's-
that's
I did have to pick them
I'm
up.
thinking
Yeah.
sex.
And I kept finding them on the videos. Weeks later, you'd still find them on the back of videos.
Also, my brain, I could not come up with
legend.
150 different things. It'd just be like
Spent
150
hours
dicks.
on it. There was a
Yeah.
shift. That's all they did. A shift was all he did. There were quotes. There were drawings.
You got paid for it.
Yeah. And then I said, what are you
Paid
going
for
to do
his
now?
art.
I'll never forget it. He goes, okay, what are you going to do now? Now that you've fucking done you got no job, what are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to go into the bush and move earth.
Oh, you did that at the golf course.
Yeah. I was like, huh?
Wow, just two ships in the night.
That's why I remember it.
Yep.
Ah.
Insane.
And so, what's the worst boss you've ever had? Could you? And then we'll let you go. And we know you're busy, but I just feel like you are like such a. You would have so much
You
in
have some
you.
good goss. We're
God,
trying to get
so
to the
much.
goss.
No, we don't have to do goss. But what's the worst boss you've ever had?
In comedy or like?
Anywhere. But yes, comedy. That's
Comedy?
what I'm saying.
Oh, I've had.
Probably comedy.
Oh yeah, I had a boss. Yeah. How do I not identify this person?
Just say their name.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, say their name. Yeah,
You'll
I'll
bet.
bleep it out. Yeah.
Right, the old I'll bleep it out.
Yeah, I'll bleep it out. You can trust me.
I had a boss. I worked as a storeman at a major department store.
Yep.
In the dust coat. So we would take
Okay.
delivery.
Is this code for Channel 10? I hear you loud and clear. Wink.
I'll just make it all up.
It's Bert Newton, isn't it? Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
So the best thing. Okay, no Bert stories. All right. So our job was to take all the stuff from the dock and then take it up to the various departments where it was meant to be. It was also someone's job to make sure that something was damaged so he could sell it. And
Very clever. That's Bert Newton.
mate, that was
Classic Bert.
I wasn't in on that scam,
Yeah.
but it was a lucrative.
Yeah. It would be huge.
It was, and I was like, oh, because there were all these
Yeah.
damaged boxes in the corner. And sometimes I would see things going in the boxes.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, that's weird. And I was like, and then I finally, it wasn't after I finished, I was like, fuckers. So
They didn't let you in on it.
It was genius. Anyway, this guy, he would come down and he would make us all, I promise you, he would come down and he would make us all tell him a joke before we started our shift. So you had to find a joke,
Oh, that's stressful.
That's horrible.
think of a joke.
Yeah.
And there was one guy who said the same joke every day.
I'd do that.
And he got called in, and then you'd go and have lunch. They had like a lunchroom, and he would come, and he was so David Brent. He would sit on the desk and ask you which of the girls from the perfume counter you thought that he could crack on to.
So David Brent, you're
And
right.
then, and I'd be like,
so
I reckon they
cringe.
all are into you. And he goes, okay. He kept doing okay.
Clearly, but which one?
But which one? Which one do I go for today? I've had them all, but which one do I go
Oh
today? And
my
I go,
God.
I don't know. What about the J'adore? Don't be stupid. He's got a boyfriend. which one? And I'd be like,
I've had them all.
yeah. And he
had
kept saying,
them
he'd always,
all.
I've had them all.
Round 2. Which one
Yeah,
do I get?
yeah.
Which one do I give the gift to?
Unbelievable. And you have to sit there and go, no, you are. And then we'd go, and he'd be like, hey, Ed. Oh, yep. You go, mate, level 3, the cookwares. What am I thinking? I'd be like, are they stacked? Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yes.
Cookware stacked. Because you're
Yeah.
meant to stack the cookware. You get it? You can't have them
Yeah.
higgledy-piggledy. All the handles have to be going in the same way.
Yep.
Oh, so you had to display stuff as well. You weren't just
Sort of.
putting
You
them.
weren't meant to, but sometimes the
Oh.
visual, whatever they were called, the blokes in the
Yeah.
scarves,
Yeah.
would make you go and basically labourer for them if the stuff was too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have to literally go and he'd stand there while you lined up the handles.
So yeah, he sounds like. So you did.
So
you
which,
didn't even
how many did he fuck?
He had them all.
He had them all. He
had them all, and you didn't quit in spectacular fashion there.
No, because I was going to get a discount.
Oh,
Because you got a discount.
on what? Perfume.
No, everything, the shop,
Cookware.
the whole
Oh,
store.
20%, 30.
It was 10, but you could also
Steal.
make a sale
Yeah.
if you knew the person on the counter, and you could get up to like 60.
You beauty.
Got my first seat from that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Seat.
Suit.
Suit. Oh, I was going to say, okay, good on
And a
you.
VHS and a
Was
sick
it
VHS.
pinstriped?
Yeah, it was. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, mine was pinstriped as well, and I had a lime green tie and white shoes.
Oh.
The very birth. I went to the races. What are the odds?
Did you really? How'd you go?
Not good. I lost all my money, and then I went to the casino afterwards, and I lost my dignity and more money, and a
But
fight.
not. Did you keep the suit?
I do. I still found the suits at Mum's house.
Oh,
Man,
good.
you are a
gross.
legend. You
It's
are. That
gross.
is exactly. If I had to draw, if I had like their police identikit,
Yeah.
all right, draw Brett Blake's first suit. That is
Exactly.
exactly what I want to
Exactly.
go.
Spot on.
Black pinstripe, white shoes. Do you remember when white shoes were a thing?
Yeah, there's still a thing
yeah.
in Perth.
There's still a thing in Perth.
They
haven't
love
gone
it
out
in
of fashion.
Perth. White belts, white leather
white-
pointy shoes.
Yeah, I know. I think I had a white belt as well.
I had a pair of winkle pickers. You had the point at the top.
Oh yeah, they're great.
such a
Winkle
strong-
pickers. I've never
Bad
heard of
person.
it. Is that's what that's for?
Yeah, genuinely bad person. That's what I want. I'm trying to
Wait, are
find
you
the.
showing this photo?
No, I got a great photo of the races. The best photo ever. Stand by. You talk amongst
Okay.
yourselves. I'll find it.
Did were your shoes pointy, Brett? They had
Yeah,
to
I
have
think my
been.
mate's
They had to
Hayden's
be.
were, but they were a little bit pointy. But
My mate Hayden, what a legend.
My mate Hayden had some real.
What'd you
like,
call
real
him? You didn't
pointy
call him
ones.
Hayden,
I
did
think
you?
they were snake skin.
Did you call
as
him
well.
Hayden?
Of course they were.
But they weren't real snake skin because obviously they weren't
God,
real
no.
snake.
Did you
skin.
call him Hayden?
Yeah, Haydo.
Hayden, there we
Thank you.
go.
That's
Come
more
on,
like
just
it.
Grow up, Brett.
Yeah, just
And
grow
then-
up. Tell us the
Just-
truth.
when
Be
I was
honest.
in Perth, the first time I ever went to Perth, I was like, are the only shoes that people are allowed to wear here, blokes, of thongs or pointy white leather shoes?
We're two extremes. It's either that way or it's that way.
But you all sound the same.
that's true.
Or
When you go to the Paramount nightclub and buy a $14 Jack Daniels and think you're fucking cool.
You are cool.
Thank you.
There it is. The best photo ever from the
Okay.
races. Thank you for asking. There she is.
Yes. Is that
Is this the
whipped
lady from the
cream or a
crawl?
tube?
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's that in her hand?
She's pretending to fillet a Pringles.
Oh, she's sucking off a Pringles can.
wow.
Anyway, that's
Brett.
what
Too
I
much
do for a
content,
living.
Ed.
There's your mum.
All right,
Okay.
We're going to have to leave you there. Thank you very much for joining us. Anything
It's a
you'd like to
pleasure.
plug?
Obviously, our Lord and Savior.
That's lovely. That's really nice.
Bird
What
news.
about?
Xenu.
Oh.
Just become a operating Theta 7. If you don't go clear, then you know what's going to happen to you. So obviously that's pretty
really
high on my
important.
list. Thank God you're here, and have you been paying attention? And
Yeah, have you guys heard of those massive shows?
And that'll do.
They need your support.
Yeah,
They need
guys,
your
if you
support.
know-
Give so we may grow.
Thank
Yep.
you. If you haven't already jumped on the Patreon, make sure you do. Thank you very much, Ed, for joining us.
Thanks,
Until
Ed.
next time, we'll see you legends soon. Thank you.
Peace.
G'day, legends. Thank you very much for listening to the Work Hates podcast. If you're not already on the Patreon, jump on board now.
Oh God, you better get on there. We're having the best time making this, and we only can make it if you guys help us out.
Yes, jump on the Patreon. There's ad-free episodes. There's bonus episodes. There's heaps of behind-the-scene content. If you're not on it, do yourself a favour and get on it now.
Yeah.
I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets, like real bullets.
Kill me.